Good afternoon, Bini.
Good afternoon.
Today we're almost 9 years after the discovery of the Leviathan gas field, and we understand that the platform will start flowing gas to the Israeli market before the end of the year. Where does the development stand today, and when can we expect first flow?
Sure, we're 9 years, almost to the day. Leviathan discovery was November 29th, 2010, and we had some regulatory hurdles that we had to overcome, something that was overcome with the natural gas framework, which today I think we have evidence is working very well and is achieving all of its goals that the government set out for the people of Israel and that the companies set out to allow for an investment in Leviathan. I think that's a very important thing to state. And one of those requirements was that we would supply gas to the domestic market before the end of 2019. And I'm happy to say that we've maintained that commitment, and we will flow gas before the end of the year. I would say sometime between the middle of December to December 31st. The platform has been installed, and just last week we started commissioning the platform with what is called buyback gas. That was, we are buying already treated gas from the Israeli national grid, flowing it to the platform, and starting to turn on the facilities there. That takes about a month, and then we will open the wells and start commissioning the entire system. So maintaining the schedule that we agreed to back in 2017.
So the development of the gas field and the platform itself has been described as the largest energy project in Israel's history. But what does it really mean for Israel? Can you maybe describe its contribution to the energy market in layman's terms?
Sure, I think we say that it's certainly the largest energy project in the history of the State of Israel, but I believe it's also the largest privately funded infrastructure project in the State of Israel at about $3.75 billion that were invested by the Leviathan partners. For Israel, it means, first of all, energy security. Today, we're dependent on natural gas from Tamar, which is Noble Energy is also the operator of. Tamar supplies fuel for 70% of Israel's electricity production, and that all happens through one platform and one pipeline into the shore. So in order to increase the use of natural gas, you want to have security of supply, and that means additional fields, it means additional treatment facilities, and it means additional entries into shore. So Leviathan will provide all of that. What else it does is that it allows then, with that comfort, to reduce the use of coal, something that the Ministry of Energy has already announced that we're going to be coal-free in the next decade. And that would not be happening without Leviathan gas and that energy security that we're supplying. The reduction of coal is going to increase or improve the health of the people of Israel. The natural gas burns much cleaner. We've already seen, for instance, SOx reductions of 81% with the displacement of coal. When we displace additional coal, we'll get to 99%, so much cleaner, healthier air for the people of Israel to breathe. The next thing it does is that it provides a source of income for the government of Israel and savings for the Israeli consumer. Today, to date, since the introduction of natural gas in 2004, the Israeli consumer of fuel for electricity and industrial use has saved 63 billion shekels. That happens to be the same number, 63 billion shekels, that the government will have as revenues from Leviathan over the next 15 years. So an astounding economic benefit to Israel at a time when we often hear of budget deficits. We have a source here that can be used by the government. I'm not going to tell the government how to spend it, but certainly provides an opportunity for the government to solve some of its budgetary constraints.
You've mentioned the advantages, but as we know, there's often suspicion and maybe even opposition regarding new or different methods of operating are concerned. And the introduction of natural gas into the Israeli market has proved no different. So how do you respond to that as a company? What does it really mean for Israeli citizens? How do you respond to their concerns?
Yeah, I think, first of all, the natural gas industry in Israel, although Noble has been operating here since 1998, the public didn't really start paying attention to the natural gas industry until 2009 with the Tamar discovery, and then 2010 with Leviathan. And I think this coincided with a lot of regulatory change at a time. And to be fair to the government of Israel, they never thought these discoveries would happen. And so what happened is you had the two largest discoveries in the world, and companies needing to invest between the two projects close to $7 billion at a time when the government was grappling with regulatory change and really putting in the right regulatory structure. So all of that happened at a time as well, and as you know, the discussion in Israel is very passionate and can be taken to extremes, I would say. But we're past that. What we've done, and today you do have concern, particularly in the communities that are onshore in the area where Leviathan will be coming online. Incidentally, I must say, the Leviathan platform, the location of it, is the exact place where the government of Israel, through its various representatives, dictated that it would be. And so that's where the Leviathan platform sits. It's under strict environmental regulations. The requirements of the Ministry of Environmental Protection is that it have best available technology, very stringent discharge requirements, and very stringent air emissions requirements. They have done a good job in protecting and putting in the right protections and oversight, a good job for the people of Israel. There is still, I think, some work that needs to be done as far as convincing the people that not only we, but that the regulator has taken their concerns into account. And so we have a very, let's say, robust outreach effort to locals. We've had town halls with locals. We have a Facebook page and a website in which all the information can be there. We have links to all our documents. I think this is probably, if you look globally, one of the most transparent natural gas developments in the world, certainly that's happened in Israel. And still, there is a desire to do more. Last night, I met with the Environmental Association in the Hofa Carmel region, and the regional council head, where we agreed fundamentally, we agreed on having a air monitoring system on the platform in addition to what we're required in the air permit. This is Noble going beyond compliance to ensure that the public has the information they need to feel safe. And we'll be working with them over the next week on how to implement that agreement. And so I think there's a very positive step and really shows that Noble has put its face forward. Now, we're not going to convince the last opponent, but I think if the professional eyes look at what's been done and what continues to be done, they will feel very confident that the people of Israel are protected.
Okay, and I think we have time for one final question. We've heard plenty today about the political situation, the domestic situation in Israel, failure to form a government. Does the domestic political situation have an impact on the current project or potential future developments of gas fields? And also, what is your message to the next Israeli government whenever it is formed?
Sure. I think the nature of the Knesset and the way the government works here is that, and you have a government and you have an opposition, and it's in the name. But as one Israeli prime minister coined, and many have said since then, what you see from here, you don't see from there. And I think that what happens, no matter who will form the next government and what its makeup will be, I think when you look at the economic benefits that Leviathan will bring, the environmental benefits that Leviathan will bring, and the geopolitical benefits that Leviathan will bring, we'll begin exporting natural gas to Jordan and to Egypt with the introduction of Leviathan gas. I think that is something that is shared across the political spectrum here, and we would not anticipate any changes. When Noble sat and negotiated with the natural gas framework, we, of course, did that with the government that was in place, but that government represented the people of Israel, and no matter who forms the next government, the people of Israel will still be well represented, and this gas will still provide those vast benefits to them.
Great. Thank you, Bini.
Thank you very much.